Good morning, guys. It is April 25th. It's about 2 a.m.
And don't you think it's crazy how we made it here? Look at us now. If you're ever feeling low, there's something that you gotta know. 'Cause even if the world comes crashing down, I'll be there for you. And even if the sky goes up in flames, yeah, we'll make it through. And at the end of it all, I'll still be there for you.
Ramadan Kareem to everyone celebrating and fasting the month of Ramadan. I'll be walking you guys through a full day of eating and kind of how I'm setting up my diet and, overall just how I'm going to be strategizing throughout this month. So I'm going to be right now eating about 2,200 calories, and I'm going to be splitting it up pretty much like roughly half my macronutrients or macros for suhoor or in the morning before the sun rises, and then the later half of my macros when the sun sets or iftar. So I'm going to show you guys what I got working and we'll go from there. So I'm doing about 200 grams of protein. That's like 1 gram per body weight. So right now I weigh about 200 pounds, and then the rest will be split up between carbs and fats. So 200 grams of protein, 260 grams of carbs, and then about 50 grams of fat. So I'll show you guys what that looks like right here. All right, so we got some egg whites, some turkey breast. This is 93% lean. We got some berries. Have a banana from our fine selection of bananas and oranges, and then I got some spinach and then some cottage cheese. So really I want to get about 30 grams of protein from egg whites, about 25 from turkey breast, and then about another 25 from cottage cheese. There's nothing wrong with having all of your protein in one sitting. There's like a myth that's like, oh, your body can only digest a certain amount at a time, but honestly, if you want to have it all for school or all for iftar, feel free, but having 200 grams of protein at one time is not fun, so I try to split it up, and I'll show you guys what that looks like. Also pretty cool, my mom just put up some Ramadan lights, so very cool lighting. You guys want to check this out? And the house feels Ramadan-like. Now I just need that Ramadan music. You guys know what I'm talking about. Let me turn on the light. Let's get to cooking. Alrighty, I'm gonna go ahead and weigh out 10 ounces of egg whites. This will give me about 30 grams of protein. Also gonna be making some oatmeal. So I'm gonna do 1 cup, which is about 80 grams. So that's about 80. That's good right there. And then I like to do 3 cups of water boiling. That's like the ratio. Alright, so I got 2 pans right here. I'm using 0-calorie olive oil spray for both. So I'm just gonna spray my pan and let my water boil. And I'm gonna put all of this turkey to cook. I'm only gonna use some of it, but I just like to have it ready. Alright, turkey's right here. To season it, I'm literally just using salt and pepper. So I like to use pink Himalayan salt. The most natural. I'm going to add some of the oats as well in the water, and then on the egg whites, add some pepper on the turkey. And if you guys can see, there's that. Alright, my turkey's almost done. I'm just going to saute it. Oh, whoops. I went ahead and turned off the stove for the egg whites. This is done. I'll show you guys what we're going to do with it. And as the water comes to a boil, go ahead and just drop your oats in. I like to boil my oats the best way. I typically microwave, but this tastes better. And then I'll show you guys tomatoes diced up here and some onion. I'm just gonna add in. So start laying that stuff on there. I like to have fun with my food and make it taste the best possible, especially when dieting during such a hard time. Onions, drop those in there. Then we're gonna add some spinach. Alright, so the turkey is done. I'm just going to add 4 ounces here. I like to do post-cooked. That's just kind of the way I've done it for a long time. But there's a big controversy about like, oh, you should do a pre or post. But honestly, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter as long as you stay consistent. So drop that in the omelet. As you can see, I added some spinach, and then my oats are coming to a boil. So keep stirring that. We're gonna add some peanut butter in there, and we'll actually move that here now to a larger burner. It's getting hot in the kitchen at 2 a.m. All right, using a rubber spatula, probably the easiest way to do it. We're gonna find an opening, and we're just gonna flip that over to the best of our ability. Gonna make like a omelet, and we're just gonna let it slow cook. Everything's pretty much done here. You can even just like set the burner up like low, and then you can add some more salt and pepper, and we're gonna finish our oats. Okay, so we're gonna take 16 grams of peanut butter. The best way to do it is not do it with one hand, but obviously I'm just taking the negative weight, so set your scale to 0 once you put the peanut butter jar on. That's about 14. Come on. 16. All right, negative 16. We're just gonna throw that in the oats while cooking. Stir that in. Alrighty guys, now that the oats are done, we're just gonna pour them in here. I'll get the rest out in a little bit, and I'll show you guys what we're gonna do with it. Okay, so we got our omelet right here, and I'm gonna show you guys what to do with the oats to make it taste like a Snickers bar. My favorite recipe. I think Christian Guzman showed me this, like watched that video a couple years ago. So you add some cinnamon, you can add some salt, which I can't do with one hand because you have to screw it. We'll add it on the top. Then you add some syrup, and there's some peanut butter in there. This is like the 0 calorie one, or like 15 calories. And lastly, a little sea salt. And this is what we're working with. Oof. Okay. Alrighty guys, everything is done. I'm just gonna show you what's on the table. I know it looks overwhelming, but we have the egg white omelet, the oatmeal, 150 grams of cottage cheese, and some berries. So the macros I'm gonna just set right here on the screen. Aside from that, I mean, this is about 900 calories. I have a gallon of water. I try till I'm like literally about to throw up, super full, super full. For supplements, I'm just taking some fish oils right there, some green tea extract, 1 pill. This will keep you up, be careful. 5 grams of creatine, some vitamin D, especially during that quarantine, not getting that sunlight. Some green vibrance, some pre-workout, probably work out in like 20 minutes or so, and then some BCAAs. I'll talk about in another video like why these are all important, but basically, I mean, BCAAs, preserved muscle, you know, especially during a fast. This is just gets your daily greens. Creatine's good, you know, just to recycle ATP energy and have like better lifts. Omega-3 fatty acids, green tea, so many like benefits. And it's just vitamin D is good for skin, hair, and nails when you're not getting natural sunlight. So that about covers it up, guys. Give yourself time to eat. I start at 2 because it's a lot of food, obviously. But when you're cutting, you want to maximize volume and calories. So I hope this helps, and wish me luck because there's a ton of food. Let's go.
Absolutely no fucks were given in that moment. And kind of like cascaded events, you know what I mean?
Alrighty guys, it's about 4 a.m. Just finished a pull workout with my brother. I have 2 scoops of Optimum Nutrition vanilla protein with half a banana. It's my post-workout shake, and then I have a little almond milk. This is also how I'm getting like probably a quarter of my protein intake, about 50 grams right here. So see you guys at night, right? Yeah. What is going on, guys? It's about 7:30 p.m. I'm on a brisk walk. Love brisk walks. I like to do these right before Maghrib, and I'll tell you guys why. Sun's almost down, and here's my beautiful mom. All right, guys, we're having dinner right now. The sun finally went down after 80 hours. So here's what I'm having for dinner.
80 hours.
There's Sam,
Oh my god.
my mother. This is what we're having.
90 hours.
90 hours. The secret is to microwave your dates. So I'm gonna choose two. I like this one, and I like this one right here. Just wanna do 15 seconds. I'm gonna have some almond milk with this. Just 40 calories. This combo is like actually crack. It's so good. So, milk. Alright guys, this is what we're having about how, can't even talk, sugar's not to my brain yet. We have about 158 grams of rice, which is about 1 cup, 8 ounces of chicken grilled, and then I have some, I think that's kale or collard greens, cabbage, some air fried potatoes, and then I have some salad on the side. For a drink of choice, got some Coke Zero, and then I also, this is called like salad with lemon, which is like cucumber Greek yogurt spread. So I like to put it on the rice. It's a very, very Palestinian thing. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's what I'm gonna eat. I broke my fast with 2 dates, and I'll tell you guys why that's really good in just a second. Alrighty, guys. I'm gonna have some coffee again. I'm gonna have some sparkling water as well, like the Italians. They serve the espresso with sparkling water. That way, you take a sip, and then you take a sip of water, and it's just really good. So give this a try. Also 0 calories if you're intermittent fasting outside of Ramadan. This is how you extend your fast in the morning. So
That actually looks really refreshing.
it's very refreshing.
خلاص خليه يروح سمجدين.
Don't you fill up the water?
Mom, you're the goat. Wow.
ماما عملوا عصير ولا عملوا سلاشي؟
Mm.
Mom, where'd you put the blender?
زين هي تحت هون حبيبتي. بعمل لك اياها بطل لك اياها.
Tell how many spoons of sugar.
Alright, my mom's making a tonic with oil,
Well,
the regular way.
I have to.
I'm gonna go air fry some without oil.
This is what's gonna break, so I saved it.
Ooh.
Here, this is.
But I need some of this. Alrighty guys, we're almost done. That's what we're working with. Really fried and crispy. Now, just gotta figure out which one's cheese, which is this one. And then what one Joe's, it's probably this one. It's always a guessing game. Alright, so I'm gonna put these on. I'm gonna put some honey, which is non-traditional, but 60 calories for 21 grams. So I'm just gonna do 21 grams. I don't even know if I need that much. Probably do half of that. I'll do 21. Nice. Taste test.
Daughter's name is gonna be Athaya.
Fire.
No. You hear that, babe?
So fire. Tastes so good. So breaking your fast with a date, or any type of fruit really, is really like beneficial just because they're really high in sugar. And the sugar that comes from fruits is like fructose, so it's really good for replenishing glycogen, which is essentially just your body's main source of fuel. Basically powers your central nervous system, your brain function, working muscles, and it comes from carbohydrates. So the way it happens is you eat a carbohydrate, it turns into glucose or fructose if you're eating fruits, and then your body converts it to glycogen in your blood, but it's also stored in your liver and your muscles, and when you're fasting, those stores get depleted, so you want that immediate rush of sugar from fruits, get that kind of awakeness that you need after a long day of fast. So as far as calories goes, there's really three places you can be. There's maintenance, which is the total number of calories that'll maintain your body weight. You won't gain or lose weight in this area. So for me, that's about 2,600. And then there's a surplus, which is about 15 to 25% increase in calories. For me, that's about 3,000 calories. That's where I'll actually gain weight. And it's strategic if you want to build muscle, like you need to be in a surplus to do so. But right now I'm in a deficit. So I'm eating about 15 to 25% under my maintenance, which is 2,300 calories. And it's really strategic to be in a deficit during Ramadan because when you're fasting and you wake up, your body notices that there isn't any calories, to use for, powering your central nervous system, for powering your working muscles, as I explained. So your body's going to tap into its energy stores, and it really has two options. It can either burn muscle as a fuel because it sees that as a fuel source, or it could burn stored body fat. For the body, though, it really doesn't care about having muscle and looking good. Fat's more valuable. And the reason for that is protein and carbs hold 4 calories per gram, while fat molecules only hold, or not only, but they hold 9 calories per gram. So your body sees this as like gold, whereas like protein and carbs are like bronze and silver. It'll spare the muscle if it needs to. The way to combat this is to eat 1 gram of protein per your body weight and make sure you're training regularly. This will inhibit and almost like make it impossible for your body to burn muscle as a fuel. So if there's no carbs or you can't burn muscle, you're pushing your body in a corner where it has to burn stored body fat. And that's why it's so strategic to eat high protein and stay in a deficit during Ramadan, because you can get very lean, and you should take advantage of the fact that you're in a fasted state. So when your body's in a fasted state, and to be in a fasted state, you need to not have consumed anything for 12 hours. After that, your body's effectively less of any glycogen in the liver, muscles, or in the bloodstream. So there's no carbs to burn, and your body, burns carbohydrates as fuel. So when you're in a fasted state, your body is now burning fat as energy. Typically, you're burning sugar, and this is why when you eat in the morning, eat breakfast, you get hungry after 2 or 3 hours because it doesn't last that long. You need to keep putting carbs in the furnace. Now, when you're in a fed state, your body is forced to, to use any glycogen that it has. So to push your body in a corner, again, to where it's utilizing fat to power your day, to power like any non-exercise activity, which is called NEAT, like non-exercise activity thermogenesis, it has to use stored body fat if you're manipulating your macronutrients correctly. And that's why I said it to carbs, protein, and fat for those specific numbers. Your body will burn carbs in the place of burning muscle. It's kind of like a protectant, but when they're not there, the only thing you can have going for you is having a high protein amount, to where your body has to use stored body fat. It's stored food. Your body can use it, but you have to configure the settings of your body, of your calorie intake, to make your body eligible to do so. Now, as far as food choices go, I think there's a big misconception. I can't even talk. Misconception about basically, healthy foods versus non-healthy foods. Sure, there's foods that promote health, that are good for your cholesterol, being heart healthy. But it really comes down to caloric intake. So whether you're eating chicken breasts, egg whites, oatmeal, or you're eating Nutella, cookies, candy bars, it really doesn't matter. Your body doesn't discriminate. However, it is important that you hit your goals and your numbers while being in a caloric restriction, in a caloric deficit. Being in that deficit, for me, that's about 400 calories per day, will enable fat loss. 400 calories per day for 7 days of the week, that's about 2,800 calories. And we know that 1 pound of fat or 1 pound of muscle has 3,500 calories. So all you need to do is meet your caloric goal and hit your macronutrient goals. Whether you're doing that with Nutella or chicken breast, that's your choice. It's more strategic to eat wholesome foods that are going to keep you full. And it's less strategic to just have like Oreos and protein shakes all day, because one, you won't feel full, and two, you'll just malnourish your body of vitamins and minerals that it needs, especially micronutrients. My rule of thumb is like try to eat 80% of whole foods. And for dessert, like, you guys saw that I made taif, which is like basically a pancake, dumpling, Palestinian dessert, sweet, whatever you want to call it. I fit those things in because it keeps dieting like fun, and it reduces the amount that you want to binge on, like, certain types of foods. So the best thing is to keep yourself satisfied and making dieting funner. So how can you increase the deficit? So if I'm eating 400 calories in a deficit and I'm losing 2,800 calories per week, things you can do is cardio, steps, etc. I'm going to dedicate a video to talk about this, but what you should know is there's 3 golden hours in the day when you're fasting for Ramadan. It's 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. During this time, like, your body is effectively in a fasted state, because from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m., that's the 12-hour window it takes for you to become eligible to burn stored body fat. So from 5 to 8, your body, like, if it needs to burn extra fuel, it's going to pull from stored body fat. If you're doing, cardio, like let's say you burn 500 calories on a treadmill, your body has to pull it from stored body fat if you're inhibiting it from burning muscle by eating high protein. Eating high protein also, through the thermogenesis of food, requires your body to spend 30% extra energy burning these protein molecules. It's harder to burn for your body to digest it. Those are the things that speed up your metabolism and digestion. So for me, I don't do intense cardio because it's really hard on my body, especially when you're fasting. So one of the things I implement is steps. Depending on your body weight, for myself, every 2,000 steps, I'm burning about 100 calories. So I try to get in 10,000 steps, which isn't crazy. I try to take a morning walk and then a long walk before Maghrib or before Iftar. And for those 2,000 steps, I'm burning 100. So for 10,000, I'm burning 500 calories. So I can add that 500 on top of the 400 I'm already burning in my deficit, making it 900 calories per day and 6,300 calories per week, almost 2 pounds of stored body fat I'm just burning off of my body. And note, like, I'm not, putting my body under harsh conditions. I'm not on the treadmill or, sprinting to get these calories off my body, because that's when you put yourself at risk of burning muscle. And as for training, I try to do it before Maghrib from like 7 to 8 p.m. And the reason I do this is, one, it's really hard to get up after you eat to go power or workout at night. But 2, there's no research that suggests that you'll burn muscle lifting weights in Ramadan, or during a fast. Your body has to, again, pull energy. And there's not even that many calories you're burning during weightlifting. The main purpose of weightlifting is to build muscle. So those are the 2 things in unison, cardio or steps, whatever cardio you're doing, in tune with weightlifting, will provide you the physique you want. Because when you're burning stored body fat, you also want to protrude the muscles. And that's why abs look the way they do, because it's less of body fat and more of muscle protruding. The last thing you want to be doing is putting yourself on like a Stairmaster or a treadmill, burning 1,000 calories and malnourishing yourself and eating only like 1,500 calories, because you'll end up looking really soft and just kind of like saggy. You won't achieve the look that you want. The look that you want, or at least that I want, is like being, chiseled, having full muscle maturity, kind of like the shrink wrap look. That's all, folks. Thanks for tuning in, and see you guys at 4 a.m.